Yo, yo, yo.
What they do?
Marshall Morning's coming at you.
Episode 1. It's getting real. It's happening. We're doing it. We're going to get the podcast started.
Today we're covering Brunson versus Holland.
UFC Fight Night on ESPN. We're going to go through the main card. We're going to talk about some stuff going on in the news. And
let's touch a little bit on last week.
The Bilal Muhammad, Leon Edwards disaster that was.
Dirty.
Really bad eye poke.
Yeah.
Screenshots were not good.
I actually saw some polls on YouTube saying whose fault was it, UFC or Leon Edwards? And I can so see why people are blaming the UFC because it's a problem that's happened multiple times.
Yeah, I mean, they haven't, made the remodeling of the glove a very big priority, I feel.
It should be bigger.
It should be a much bigger priority. I mean, you're talking about really big fights that have been affected by this eye poking thing, and most recently that I can remember, the DC versus Stipe situation. Stipe had his eyes really messed up from the eye pokes in that second fight, and it really dictated when the third fight was able to happen.
You know what? Another fight that was ruined by an eye poke?
Which one?
Yeah, Rodriguez and Jeremy Stevens.
Oh, yeah. Jeremy Stevens. That was a really big fight, man. I was super excited for that fight.
Right in the first few seconds, that.
Yeah, dude. Literally in the first few seconds, it was an eye poke, and it ended the whole fight. It was the main event of that card. It was a Mexico card. Yeah, Rodriguez. No, it was really bad. I remember that.
So it just goes to show it's not the first time it's happened. It's ruined the main event, and they still haven't.
Yeah, and I feel bad for Leon. He really seemed like he was coming on strong. He showed like he was gonna.
Oh, he looked great.
He looked great in that fight. He was gonna definitely come out with the win there. I mean, to no surprise, nobody was really surprised. I think that Leon showed he was the better fighter in that one.
I can't say for sure that he would have won. Because MMA is crazy, but yes.
I mean,
from the way it was going, it definitely looked like he was taking over the fight. But no, I can't really. Yes, of course it was his fault, but I put a lot of blame on the UFC.
Yeah, I mean, they definitely need to figure out their glove situation.
Because Bellator actually has their gloves naturally curved, and so does Pride.
That is true. So Pride did back in the day.
Why can't the UFC do that?
Yeah, I mean, it's something that they really need to look into, and I feel like just. Like I said before, make a higher priority in the organization. But
big facts.
All in all, it was a weird main event. Sucks to see that happen to Leon Edwards, but
he's getting a title shot.
They said he is, but another thing that happened in the news recently, Masvidal versus Usman too, just got announced. So supposedly they said, I mean, yeah, but why not give him that? It's in a couple. When is it supposed to be?
I mean, I would assume should somebody pull out.
It's in April, I believe.
Yeah, it is.
Masvidal versus Usman. He's definitely supposed to be up next, according to what has been said and reported. But yeah, Masvidal versus Usman too. How do we see that one going? Are we seeing another foot stop class, another dancing class from Usman this time, or what are we gonna see? What do you think?
Saw the shadow boxing vid.
Yeah, the boom, boom. He even he's poked fun at it, man. But like honestly, that just wasn't the most exciting fight.
Honestly, you want me to give you my real 2 cents?
Yeah, I genuinely want your spare change.
Go off. All right. It was a boring fight because Masvidal.
You're gonna come at my boy right now?
Yes.
You're coming for my boy neck.
The reason that when Usman shows out and is most impressive. It's when he gets somebody that's at his level. Because then he has to go out of his comfort zone.
So you're saying right now, on the first episode of Marshall Morning, you're saying that Masvidal is a boring fighter.
No, that's not what I said at all.
You're saying that Masvidal is not on Usman's level.
That's exactly what I'm saying. That's exactly what I'm saying.
I don't know how to take that.
He's nowhere there. He has a good ground game, but not nowhere near to the level of Usman. He's born up to this point doing this shit. And if Usman knows he can take him down, then why is he gonna strike with him? But Gilbert Burns and Colby Covington, that they can put up the tremendous fight on the ground. He's forced to strike with them, and it makes the fight exciting.
I mean, since you brought it up, Usman versus Covington, that was a stand-up fight.
I feel like that one should have been.
Like, why didn't Usman come after Masvidal like that? Because if that was the Usman that would have came at Masvidal, then
he knows he would have lost.
How are you gonna say that he's not on Usman's level then?
Because he's not.
If he knows that he could have beaten him.
But why didn't he beat him then? Because he's not on his
because
level.
he wanted to fight like how he fought
Nah,
up against the cage, and he wanted to hold on to him, and he didn't want to go into the fire.
Right,
but
so
with Kobe,
Masvidal, get better.
Kobe, he wanted
so
to.
Masvidal, get better. Work on your takedown defense, and then you won't get mauled, and then he's gonna be forced to strike with you, and it's gonna end up happening like a Kobe fight. He didn't
even try any takedowns against Kobe. That's the thing. It wasn't like Kobe defended takedowns and that's why they had to strike. They just went at it. Yeah. So my thing is to Usman, if you're such a world-class fighter, you're the UFC 170-pound champ of the world, why not show that you can win everywhere since you're such a well-rounded fighter, since you're the number one 170-pound fighter in the world?
He's the best MMA fighter, not the best striker, not the best
exactly,
grappler,
the best MMA, the best MMA. Exactly, you should be able to mix it up. You should be able to fight anywhere on the ground, standing, kickboxing, pure boxing.
Then that's where you mix it up.
I just think it's going to be interesting to see with a full camp what Masvidal is able to do. I think Masvidal has been training for this rematch for a little while.
I want Masvidal to impress me.
I want Masvidal to come out and really show what he can do on a full camp. I have confidence that he will be able to do that. And I think he's going to be able to grapple a lot better. He's going to be stronger. He's going to be ready for Usman's clinches.
Okay.
And we're going to see a better fight this time around.
All right, let's hope so. I would like to see that happen.
What else do we got going on? That happened. We had the Chimaev retirement. Seems like he's coming back.
Retirement, not retirement.
Retirement/not retirement. That was interesting. Last week he just
said... Dan Hardy's not in the UFC anymore. Very disappointing.
Oh, yeah? Dan Hardy's out?
But apparently he hasn't really released a statement because he says he's still trying to get answers because they're not really giving him a full explanation.
Wow. So there's a lot of drama going on with that.
Yeah, kind of sus.
That Herb Dean situation wasn't good.
I know that got him... a little pissed with Dana, got them in a little situation, but I don't think it has anything to do with that. But nah, so
I don't know, man.
But he'll still break down fights, so I'm okay with it.
Yeah, I mean, he's still gonna have his following and stuff. You know, he's just not gonna be under the UFC banner. But
sadly, I like him as a commentator.
Yeah. We also got Joshua versus Fury.
Ooh, I love me
Joshua
that one.
versus Fury just got
love me that one.
2-fight deal. Both guys coming off their wins.
I mean, if it goes 1-1, it's gonna be a third fight.
Joshua took back his belts against Ruiz. Tyson beat Wilder in their second fight. How do you see this one playing out? First fight, second fight. Let's just start with the first fight. Let's go one fight at a time.
I'm a big Joshua fan, and Fury is no slouch. We all know that.
I mean, Fury's the GOAT.
And
Fury would be Muhammad Ali.
I feel like this is just shut up.
Tyson Fury would be Muhammad Ali in a heavyweight boxing match.
Let's not say that on the first episode. Let's get fans, not haters.
I mean, we're just stating facts. I mean, I know we don't talk eras, we don't compare eras, but if you get a prime Ali and a prime Tyson Fury, you got one hell of a fight there, bro. Tyson Fury's a giant that moves like a light heavyweight. So I have Tyson in this one. I have Tyson Fury beating Anthony Joshua inside 3 rounds. If they do rematch, I think Tyson finishes him again, probably inside 5. Tyson moves too well. He's too big. He's bigger than anybody Joshua's ever fought. He moves like no other fighter that Joshua's ever fought or any fighter that he will ever fight. I think Joshua does have a chance for sure. I mean, he's a world-class boxer. Anthony Joshua's Anthony Joshua for a reason. You know, he's got his power. Fury has shown himself to be susceptible to getting shots landed on him by someone as sloppy as a Deontay Wilder. So I still have Tyson winning, but it's gonna be a fun heavyweight fight,
even
man.
Other people. He got cut one time real fucking bad.
It's the Tyson Holyfield of our generation.
You remember that? Like, I can't tell you exactly.
With the Tyson fight.
Really bad.
Oh, when he was leaking. Yeah, even Dana White talked about that one a little bit. He's talking about how he was leaking and how they let that fight go, but then they didn't let Nate Diaz's fight go. Because I think those happened on the same night, actually. Nate Diaz versus Masvidal.
But supposedly the cut man did a really good job at stopping the bleeding with Fury's cut.
Yeah, so. I mean, either way, you know, you're talking about boxing that's supposedly not supposed to be as gory and shit like that. And
I got Joshua.
I got Fury.
All right.
Inside 3.
Sounds good. And now I think we should step into the UFC realm.
Yeah, that's pretty much everything that's been going on outside of this. But let's get into why we're here, the bulk of it, the meat, if you will.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a tremendous main event for this Saturday. I guess we can start off with Keenan Song, the welterweight, at a plus 140 underdog versus Max Griffin at a minus 177 favorite. So Keenan Song has 8 knockouts, 6 subs, pretty good. Actually, Max Griffin has the same amount of knockouts with only 2 subs.
Max Griffin fought Mike Perry.
Right?
Yeah, he fought Mike Perry. Pretty sure he lost to him, but
So who would you say wins this one, and how? Why?
I mean, from what I remember, Song, he had a fight in 2019 back in China, one of Wei Li's first fights.
Shout out Wei Li.
Yeah, shout out Wei Li. And from what I remember, that fight, he gassed, man. He gassed towards the second round, and I think he ultimately won that fight, but he showed that he wasn't really even a 3-round fighter, let alone a 5-round fighter. Not that he's fighting 5 rounds in this fight, but he showed a little bit.
You're thinking about Krantz?
Of a weak gas tank. No, I'm talking about Song. Krantz.
No,
Krantz is who he fought. Yeah, it was versus Krantz. Yeah, it was versus Krantz. But
he actually got manhandled in the grappling in that fight.
Yeah, and he was getting taken down left and right. And Krantz isn't really the most well-known guy in the UFC. He fights out of Texas. He's a wrestling guy, but he was handling Song pretty well in that fight. And Max Griffin is a guy that comes out, and he comes out with a bang, man. He comes out fast. He comes out hot. He's got good takedowns. He showed in his fight against which was the fight that we watched over? It was Max Griffin, and he fought Alex Oliveira. Right. He was fighting Alex Oliveira, a Brazilian guy. Someone who should have pretty decent, if not really good, takedown defense, and Max Griffin showed that he was able to handle him well. So those two things matched up. I could see why Max Griffin's the favorite in this one. I could see him handling him and bringing the pace that he always does in most of his fights, and handing Song an L in this one, probably finishing it somewhere inside 2 if he even gets to the second round.
Yeah, for me, the gas tank is a big thing. I really like how Griffin's gas tank is compared to Song's. It looked so bad.
Yeah, it looked really bad in that fight. It did.
And he has a variety in kicks, yeah.
He's got the traditional martial arts kicks for him.
What good are kicks if you're going to be on your back most of the time?
Right.
But who knows? Maybe Griffin is going to want to strike with him. I'm sure he could push the pace very
Griffin
nicely
likes to bang,
Song.
man.
But no, yeah, he's not afraid to get dirty. So I think he's going to whoop ass. Should be a pretty good one for him. Good matchup stylistically for Max Griffin, I'd say.
Yeah, I think I got Max Griffin this one. He's got multiple decisions in the UFC. He's got the gas tank. He's got the wrestling.
Odds make sense in this one.
Yeah, odds make sense in this one for sure.
We're going to take
for those
Griffin.
bettors out there.
Another one. We got Adrian Yanez versus Gustavo Lopez.
I love this fight.
Adrian Yanez coming in at a minus 200 favorite. Gustavo Lopez at a plus 160.
2 Contender Series guys, right? Both of them off the Contender Series, if I'm not mistaken.
I believe so.
I mean, these guys are just... They're bangers, man.
They're little guys, but they're packed with energy.
135,
they're like the Energizer Bunny.
135-pound fight. I mean, these guys are fast. These guys are strong from the highlights and, the fights that we've watched from them. They're not afraid to bang. They like to get in there, like to get dirty, and they like to throw haymakers, man.
I really like Yanez's pressure.
Yanez has that shovel hook. He's got the shovel hook.
His slips are tremendous. There was this shot, bro. It was this dude threw a straight and he slipped to the outside just over his shoulder and came back with a hard right. Oh my god, it was so nice. It was before he was in the UFC, but damn, bro, it was nice. He has really good shot selection. He mixes it up to the body tremendously well. I really liked how
he really knows how to mix it up well.
He can pick his shots so nicely, and
it's
not good to fight somebody that can do that and hit hard.
And he hits really hard. He was sending people flying in the fights that we were watching. Those knockouts that he was getting before the UFC. And, I mean, Gustavo Lopez... he's another one, man. He gets on the ground.
Also
he has
a hard hitter.
A really hard hitter. I think he's like an inch shorter. He's got a little bit wider of a body, I think, compared to Adrian. But, I mean, also loves to bang, loves to get in there. I noticed Gustavo is a little bit more wild in his exchanges. He's kind of like more down for the brawl. He's former champion Combate Americas in Mexico. So that's really interesting. He has that experience. He's 35 years old, definitely older than Yanez.
Experience.
He's like 27. So that's going to play a factor in it for sure, I feel. But I noticed in Lopez's highlights and in his fights that he's pretty slick on the ground, man. That's something I didn't see in Adrian Yanez's
something I want to point out is Yanez is 7 knockouts, Gustavo Lopez is 6 subs. So they're close to each other on numbers, and then on knockouts, Gustavo's 5 and Adrian Yanez has 2. So it definitely kind of shows where the game plans would be in this fight. Yanez is definitely going to want to try to knock him out. Gustavo Lopez should definitely want to try to sub him.
Yeah, but Gustavo's not going to be afraid to bang with him, which I feel is going to make the difference. He won't be, which is something I've noticed. He's not afraid to slug it out if he has to. I think Gustavo is just a more well-rounded fighter of the two. But Yanez is just really scary standing up, and knowing that Gustavo is going to be willing to bang with him is... I think both of them are in for a pretty fun night at the office.
Some fireworks.
Some fireworks are going to go off. It's going to be
the night?
4th of July in March.
Fight of the night, or possibly, maybe?
Yeah, this could be a sneaky one for Friday the night, with sleeper, if you will. I really like this fight. Okay. I don't know who I have winning, to be honest with you. I think I have Gustavo just because he's a little more versatile from what we've seen.
I'm going to go with Yanez only because the odds kind of tell me to lean that way, but...
It's a throw up. But I think it's a throw it up.
Basically, I can't really say for certain, but I'm a slide with Yanez on this one. We also got Taito Ivasa, who actually just got a last minute opponent.
Literally today, as we're recording.
So Dontel Mays got replaced by Harry Hunsker.
He was supposedly he didn't pass his medicals. He wasn't medically fit to fight apparently. So the UFC ended up pulling him, and they called up this guy, Harry Hunsucker, man.
Had fought in the Contender Series?
Yeah, he had fought in the Contender Series, but he won his fight but didn't get a contract. So it wasn't impressive enough. Wasn't impressive enough to earn his fight, but I think it was just because both guys probably got sloppy towards the end. I think he had cardio issues that he showed, and that probably wasn't too impressive for the UFC. I mean, a heavyweight guy, you're going to see some slow guys in the heavyweight division sometimes when they go all out in those first couple rounds. But, he's a really huge guy. I mean, you're talking about a guy who's somewhere around 240 when he fights. He's an in-shape heavyweight, not a really... out of shape one, if you will, not a soft body, more of a hard body at heavyweight. Should be fun, man. I mean, Taito Ivasa likes to throw down. He's a banger. He's athletic for as big as he is. He's very, very athletic. So I'm gonna take Ty in this one. Mm-hmm. He's the UFC vet out of the two. I mean, but Harry Hunsucker has nothing to lose, man.
Actually,
he literally has nothing to lose. I mean, Taito Ivasa is on the last fight of his contract.
So, kind of a necessary dub.
He kind of is on a need-to-win basis right now with the UFC. So, and Harry Hunsucker, I mean, he's coming off the Contender Series. This is his shot, man. This is his big shot, man.
Only wins for him.
Yeah, he can only win from here, because if not, he's just going to at least show that he can bang with Taito Ivasa, hopefully, and, only good things can happen for him. He wasn't even supposed to be on this card.
My only thing is, this is a short-notice fight. So
4 days notice.
So how will the gas tank be? That's a little thing... that's in my mind, but who knows? Maybe the guy's been working.
Yeah, I mean, I watched in the interview I watched today that he had when he got announced that he was replacing Dontel. He mentioned that for the Contender Series, he took that fight on 4 days' notice, and this fight is actually coincidentally also on 4 days' notice. And he talked about how he's coming into better shape. He's coming in better shape, better said, and he said he should have a better gas tank this time around, so... I think he's going to be good. He said he was back in the gym on Monday right after his fight, which a lot of fighters do say. I don't know if to call BS on that or not. Every fighter loves to go into the gym on Monday after their fights. I call bull. But, he seems motivated. He seems like a very wholesome guy. He's got a nice southern accent to him. I mean, honestly, hope nothing but the best for this guy. I honestly like both these fighters. Both heavyweights, both fun loving guys from what I've seen, even though I just saw one interview of Harry Hunsucker. We already know Taito Ivasa's lit with his shoeies and whatnot. So, I mean, this should be a fun one, man. This should be a fun one. Contender Series guys are fun. They go on the Contender Series for a reason, so...
Ty by knockout, second round.
You know what? I'm going to take Ty. I said I'm taking Ty. I'm going to stick with him. I think Ty knocks him out in the first round.
Oh, shit, like that?
Yeah, I think he knocks him out in the first round. But it might be fireworks. I could see fireworks for like a minute or two, and then just boom, somebody just gets.
Big boys, big knockouts.
That's what I see that one going.
There's this other interesting one that we got: Cheyenne Bays versus Montserrat Ruiz. So Cheyenne Bays is coming in at a really high favorite, minus 375, and her opponent coming in at a plus 275. So what's interesting about Bays is that her and her husband both got signed in the Contender Series.
Really?
Yeah, and they're both coincidentally fighting on this exact same card. He's just on the prelims.
Yeah, I've heard a few things about this Cheyenne Bays character, but I didn't know about the Contender Series situation.
Yeah, she has only one knockout as of now, but the pace she puts on these girls, man, like,
yeah,
the Contender Series was impressive. You could tell she wanted that contract. There was a moment where she knocked the girl down and she was at her, "Get the fuck up," and she goes, "Oh, I'm sorry." Yeah.
Yeah, this is that girl. Okay, yeah, I know about this girl. I remember watching those highlights. Yeah,
she's a beast. She's crazy, very aggressive.
She's nuts.
I think she's
nuts.
really
She
fun to
knows how
watch.
stand.
She's very fun to watch. And on top of everything, her guy is a wrestler. So you'll know damn well that if that shit hits the floor, she'll be okay.
She'll be ready to go.
And her opponent, Ruiz, she's a BJJ blue belt with 2 subs, 3 knockouts.
Monster Rat.
So
Monster Rat Ruiz.
Monster Rat.
Literally Monster Rat. That's how it's spelled.
But now she's
an Invicta girl.
Yeah, getting her shot. Like I said, I think if the fight goes to the floor, I believe Cheyenne should be okay, despite the credentials of her opponent. And she actually had a really nice submission on her last fight. It was a crazy Kimura. It was like with her legs. Very impressive.
Yeah, I saw that. She was about to break that girl's elbow.
But so something I say is when you have 2 people training together, especially fighting on the same card, is going to push you a lot. So the fact that she's working with her husband, I know damn well is motivating to the both of them.
For sure.
So I think they're both going to come out and put a tremendous performance. So for this one, I can see why Cheyenne is such a high favorite. I'm definitely going to ride with her on this one.
Sounds good. I'm going to go with what you're saying. I remember her Contender Series fight. Don't really remember if she had a fight in the UFC, if she did. So this would be her debut.
This is her debut.
And her hubby's debut. I mean, I do remember her highlight of knocking down her opponent, telling her to get the fuck up, and then apologizing immediately after for cursing, which is adorably cute. But yeah, I mean, she seemed from the couple clips I seen of her like a very exciting fighter. I'll take her in this one too. I did see the Monster Rat, one of Monster Rat's Invicta fights, and you know, she looked impressive on the ground, but standing up and shit, she looked a little sloppy and wild, which I think if Cheyenne Bays able to piece her up a bit, she should make quick work of it, and
she'll probably shoot for a takedown pretty early.
Make it an easy night. Yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see if Cheyenne can handle herself on the ground and what she decides to do to Monster Rat if it does go there.
Can't wait.
So that's gonna be fun.
We got a main event, ladies and gentlemen.
We got Gregor Galepsy.
Where is he? He's in the main event?
No, Gregor Galepsy's the co-main. Yeah.
He's the co-main?
Yeah, man.
Oh, we're gonna have to fix that.
Gregor Galepsy, man.
Okay, well, Gregor Galepsy coming back after that terrible knockout.
A couple years later, if I'm not mistaken, that happened like in 2019.
Gee. Yeah, Kevin Lee kind of put him away for a little bit.
Yeah, that nasty Kevin Lee KO for Gregor Galepsy was not good.
The 1-2 head kick.
He was 13-0 coming into it. He was an undefeated. He's an American style, wrestler, American freestyle wrestler. This kid grinds. He's a grinder. He loves to wrestle. He likes to stand too. He's got very stiff, straight shots, like most wrestlers do. But he's fighting a guy Striker Brad Riddell out of City Kickboxing, man. And
one of those guys.
One of them dudes.
Yeah, they're pretty dirty, man.
I
can't overlook the
after
City
that
Kickboxing
KO.
kid.
I hope that Gregor has been working on a lot of stand-up defense and a lot of kickboxing defense, and if he's able to hold himself together and control the fight on the ground and take it there and hold him down and make Brad Riddell work, I think he'll be able to grind it out and get possibly a decision win in this one, and come back strong after taking his first professional loss against a guy like Kevin Lee.
Visually, when you look at it
on paper
in history, Gregor Galepsy should win because it's the classic grappler versus striker matchup.
We all know where that one goes.
So he should be able to pull it off, but then again, Brad Riddell is
Brad Riddell's nasty, man.
He's a beast, man.
He's got heart, and he comes at you. He's a dog. He's a dog in there.
And he's one of the city kickboxing guys, so they work on everything.
That culture over there is different.
On everything.
That culture is different over there. He's got really slick stand-up, man.
It's tremendous.
If he could land some shots on Gregor, scare him into a couple takedowns, possibly get him into a takedown into the knee. I mean,
it could be a bad night.
Who knows what could happen in that one? I think it's going to be interesting. Both guys have one loss. I think Brad's like 9-1, Gregor's like 13-1. So that one's gonna be fun, man. We got two really skilled guys at 155
in their own department.
In their own department, their own little specialties, and 155, one of the deepest divisions in the whole UFC, and we're gonna see some skilled guys go out in the co-main event. I'm gonna take Gregor Galepsy in this one. I think he's gonna come out. I think he's gonna wrestle. I think he's gonna really put the pressure on Brad. Take him down. He's gonna eat a couple shots, but he'll get over it. And I think Gregor Galepsy comes out and comes back on top.
I can't argue that one. I love the city kickboxing guys. Brad Riddell is tremendous. Like I was saying, he's real good. Fantastic stand up. Like history has shown, when you're one of those high level grapplers, and I'm sure he's gonna have learned from his last knockout. He's definitely gonna,
Yeah,
he's not gonna get knocked out like that again.
I agree. I mean, I would hope not. That was insanely bad. He literally got like a year suspension, I'm pretty sure, from USADA.
He got planked with his neck bent on the cage.
But moving in
now,
the reason we're all here.
Main event, ladies and gentlemen, we got Kevin Holland versus Derek Bumsen. Brunson.
Oh my goodness.
Started off wrong.
We're coming in hot.
My bad. Slip of the tongue.
So I think we all know where Jimmy stands on this fight.
Yeah.
Off rip. Doesn't even, like, no warning whatsoever.
Kevin
so we
Holland
got
is too dirty.
Kevin Holland, 6'3", 24 years old, fighting Brunson, 6'1". I think he's 31 or 32, if I'm not mistaken. I mean, we got Brunson coming off of a win against Edmund Shabazian, a 22-year-old phenom. We got Kevin Holland coming off of that amazing, disgusting, unreal knockout off his back, right hook from the bottom, talking about this being a dream of his. Kevin Holland sleeping Jacare Souza, folding him like a chair, and leaving him for dead in the middle of the octagon. I mean, these are two guys coming off of amazing wins, to be quite honest with you. I mean, Brunson, he fought Adesanya. He was basically the stepping stone for Adesanya to catapult him into where he is now. And I think, personally, like, this, it's just like, for Brunson, man, I think he's not dumb, bro. Like, and his management's not dumb. He sees what's going on, bro. The UFC's feeding him young lions. They're trying to use him as the stepping stone to get these stars going. And he showed him in his last fight, man, that he's here to stay, bro. And he's not just a stepping stone for these young guys. And it's Edmund Shabazian. He really showed him. You could tell from the commentary of that fight, actually, that it was about if Edmund Shabazian could keep up with, the UFC's top guys, not really acknowledging Brunson. And I feel like that's something that is going to be very motivating to Brunson. Going back and watching that fight and hearing the commentary on it, and just realizing that what the UFC was trying to do, you know what I mean? And this is another young guy, another up-and-coming guy. And I'm a little scared for Kevin Holland, to be quite honest. I think he's a different breed. I think Kevin Holland is crazy in his own right, but this isn't a cakewalk, man. Derek Brunson is not. He's not an easy day at the office, bro. And he in his last fight, he really showed it. And I'm telling you, man, you're thinking. I see your face, and I see your reaction to what I'm saying. You're thinking about the Izzy fight.
No, I'm not.
This isn't Israel Adesanya, man.
I'm not thinking about that. What I'm thinking about is, I know you're looking back at a lot of Brunson's last fight with Shabazian, but I mean, he got past the first round with Shabazian, which Shabazian has gotten multiple first round knockouts. And so
Shabazian wasn't used to getting out of the first round
in a place that he didn't like to be. And his gas tank kind of shot itself
in the second round.
And I know damn well that Kevin Holland's gas tank is not going to shoot out. He's going to be there, and he's going to be very aggressive on the ground, standing up. And something I really like about Kevin Holland is when he has his back against the cage, he loves those slaps to the ear. So
the palm strikes.
So go ahead and rest up against the cage with Holland there. Go ahead.
That's actually something I have here. Is he's suffocating, man. Brunson is suffocating, bro. And he knows how to mix up his boxing. He knows how to mix up his shots with his boxing. Pushes people up against the cage, like you're talking about. Shoots for it. Yeah, he'll palm strike it. He'll go for a double leg, and he'll probably let it go. But once he lets go and his opponent is escaping off of the cage, trying to get away from his takedown, that's when he really unloads his hooks, man. That's when he looks for power shots, and that's when
Brunson?
he lets people. Brunson. He lets people escape off the cage, and then he goes in with wild shots as they're running away and tries to catch people as they're running away. And that is dangerous. And I know Kevin Holland is going to do that. He's going to get taken down probably. He'll pull himself back towards the cage, and then he'll try to escape, and that's where I'm scared for Kevin Holland.
Kevin Holland doesn't mind staying on the ground.
And I know Kevin Holland is comfortable with being uncomfortable. We saw it in his last fight. He's got a different mindset than most fighters, and I'll give that to him. But this is another guy that he's a wrestler with wrestling credentials. He's fought against. But his striking
is not.
He's fought against some of the top guys. It's not, but he has a nice jab. I saw it against Edmund, man. I saw it against Edmund in this fight. He has a nice jab. He's got the takedowns. He throws wild hooks from weird angles that people are not used to.
I'm positive.
You can't count Derek Brunson.
He's at a reach disadvantage on this one.
Of course he is. He's probably is in most of his fights that he fights against. He fought against Edmund Shabazian, who was a little taller than him. Probably definitely had a reach advantage on him. Fought against Israel Adesanya. Definitely had a reach advantage on him. Kevin Holland's 6'3", too. He's freaking huge. He's definitely gonna have a reach on him. It's not something he's not used to. I mean, I think Derek Brunson is more than used to that. His whole thing is fighting in people's face. So the reach is always gonna be a situation that you got to deal with. But I still think Derek Brunson has a chance. This isn't a cakewalk for Holland. I'm sorry. As much as I like him
Brunson's
too, I think Holland's awesome.
Out. Brunson's gonna get knocked
There's a chance
out, Mike.
Look, Brunson has shown that he's a wild brawler type of fighter.
Yeah.
But in the end, like I said, you're only as good as your last fight. That's why I keep referring to people's last fights, and that's what I'm gonna do for this pod is refer to people's last fights for the most part. In his last fight, even Cruz mentioned it on the commentary that it was one of his most patient first rounds of his career. Brunson is maturing as a fighter. He's in his early 30s. He's growing up. He's already lost against guys. He saw what Adesanya has become off of his name. So he's motivated, man, and he's coming for that neck. He's coming for Kevin Holland. He already did it against Shabazian. He said, I'm here. Don't throw these young kids at me. Don't think these young bulls are just going to run through me and step up on me.
Do you think Brunson can knock Holland up?
Yes, most definitely. Most definitely he can knock him out. He can. Brunson is strong, man. Brunson has real knockout power at 185.
I don't think he'll be able to touch him like that.
Maybe he won't be able. That's a different situation, though. You asked me if he could knock him out.
No, I know, but obviously,
will he land?
Can't knock somebody out if you can't touch him.
Do I think he'll land a knockout-worthy strike and sleep Kevin Holland? I don't know. I can't say that confidently because Kevin Holland he's different.
I love his defense. He's
he
against
really
when he fought Buckley. Holy shit! Buckley came at him like he hated the man. He was swinging the fuck away so hard, so much from like the first to the fourth round when he got knocked out. And Kevin Holland stayed so calm. He got his back pressed up against the cage multiple times and circled out, kept calm, avoided all the shots, barely even got cut in that fight. It's insane.
I mean, Kevin Holland's different, man. He's a different breed. He thinks differently. I mean, and before he was even in the UFC, he fought against Curtis Millender, who's another, he's a 170-pounder actually, but he was in the UFC for a little bit.
Welterweight.
He was a welterweight in the UFC, but they fought before the UFC, and he actually lost to Curtis Millender in a decision. And in that fight, he got ground and pounded. He got controlled on the ground a little bit, and that fight he went into super confident and didn't come out on top. And that was a fight that I think really changed him because after that fight, he came out and, he really resurged and he made his push to the UFC after that.
That's something I have to say. I've watched a few of Kevin Holland's fights, and I noticed when he first was fighting in the UFC, he did not look that impressive like he does now.
No.
Like at
he
all.
Learned. He evolves. He's an evolving fighter. He's 24 years old.
Mid UFC, he was adapting. I loved it.
And even against Jacare, you could tell from before they even let them start fighting, he was so relaxed. He was so relaxed. He was so ready to go. And this guy throws mean elbows, dog, from the clinch.
That's my thing. He hits you long.
Bottom.
He hits you short. He'll hit you tied up. He'll hit you when he can hit you.
Yeah, which is scary for a guy like Brunson that he relies on grappling a lot. You know, guys, Kevin Holland is going to be a little less worried.
Be annoying.
He's going to be a little less worried about getting out of the position than making you pay for having him there, which I think is going to go a long way. And it's going to be one of those things in this fight that's going to make a difference if he's able to take advantage of those moments where he's able to land those clean shots from places that aren't really expected, you know? Like the clinch, like the bottom, so on and so forth. But yeah, I mean, like you said before, he has those palm strikes in the clinch. I see Kevin Holland coming out on top. I see him finishing this fight, but I really do think
it won't be easy.
It's not going to be easy. I think he's going to face some adversity against Brunson, especially in the beginning. I think Brunson's going to come for his neck, very likely, very close to how Buckley did. Very similar to how, you know, Jacare did, going for takedowns and, you know, trying to mix it up like that and trying to have him on his back. And it's scary, man. For both guys, I think it's a risk. I think it's going to be a lot closer of a fight than a lot of people think. But ultimately, I have to go with Holland, man. I mean, he's just a phenom. He's huge. He's got the reach advantage. He's different. Doing things. I mean, me personally, you're looking at a prime at Jacare and Brunson. I would take Jacare over Brunson. You know, seeing the way he's knocked out guys like Weidman, seeing, you know, the way he's fought against other top level guys in 185. Jacare is a fucking monster, man. He's a beast, and to do him the way he did him that's next level. That's next level. And talking to him, saying, "I think I had a dream about this." And I was like, 17, bop, bop, bop.
That's what he
knocked
said.
out. That's what he said. He was on his back, bro.
I was trying to hear it.
He was on his back, bro.
I was trying to hear it.
He's on his back, and he's like, I think I had a dream about this. I was like 17 though. Bop, 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 bop. And he started knocking him out, bro. Jacare was laughing with him, bro.
Yeah, I saw.
Jacare was laughing with him, bro. Why did he have to do Jacare like that?
I heard Holland say something about, I'm a green belt.
Why he had to do Jacare like that?
He's dirty, man. He's a dirty guy. No, and then that's something else, honestly. The trash talk mid-fight is going to fuck with Brunson.
I think so too, bro.
It's going to fuck with him.
I think so too, because Brunson is an emotional guy. It's going to be fun, man.
I'm going to love this.
I'm excited. But people, that's it. That's number 1.
Thank you for joining.
I had a great time.
Hope you enjoyed. I enjoyed.
I had fun.
We all enjoyed. Sounds like we need
Please
to do it again.
keep listening. Wherever you listen to this podcast, if you are listening to this podcast, which you obviously are because you're hearing me say this right now, we appreciate you. We hope you stay tuned for more. There's going to be more coming out. This is more than likely going to be audio only, but that's fine. Thank you for listening to Marshall Mornings. It's been your boy, Victor Mejia.
Jimmy Bumsen. Stay tuned. Peace out.